Are you feeling lost? Are you feeling like this world is kicking your butt? Been there. Some days I still feel it. Some days I'm like, come on, world, can we be done yet? Because, yeah, obstacles happen and life happens all the time. And it's hard and it's difficult. It's not an easy road. But I want to help you. I want to be able to be your healing guide through this journey. And what that means, or I'll explain a little bit about myself. 47. And I thought I lived this perfect, idyllic world. Had the husband, was super close with my mom, pretty close with my dad. Had 3 children I thought I was good with, and just the rest of my family too, I thought I was good. That was number one. I thought everything was good. I thought everything was great. And then I lost my brother. After I lost my brother, it became my ex needing the help. Like, he needed to heal. He was hurting. And he was into addiction. And I've battled addiction with him for a few times, trying to get him to stop. And then he'd put control over it. And then it kind of felt a little different than my dad's addiction, because my dad was an alcoholic, even though he never admitted it until the end. But I worked on that. You know, I worked on kind of dealing that with them. I have a daughter with depression, so I worked on that. And I realized I worked on everything. I worked on always trying to solve these problems, trying to take care of all these little fires around me, all this stuff that everybody else was dealing with. And I never looked at myself. I never did anything for myself. And here I was, not really happy, but trying to spin my wheels to make things better when it was just getting worse. I was being told that he wasn't using, and it was me, and I don't know, maybe it was, but that was the battle I was dealing with him. And then I finally decided, like, I have to step in and I have to walk away. So after an incident, I filed an order of protection. I distanced myself from him, and I thought I was going to just do like a separation and then we were going to come back together. And then I started learning about narcissists, and I don't know if he's a true narcissist or not, but he definitely had toxic behaviors and toxic traits on it. And so I learned about that. I learned about that situation. And I kind of knew some of it from, I was a social worker. So I learned the information on domestic violence. I've learned all that. And I kind of took what I learned in the books versus what I went through, because my stuff was a little shaded, because mine was all mind manipulation and gaslighting. So I learned about that. I learned about how my brain was like changed and warped. And so I filed for divorce. And then shortly after I filed for divorce, my dad ended up in the hospital, and my dad passed away. And then in 2023, I found out about a huge betrayal from my mom. She informed me that she slept with my husband prior to us getting married. And that made me question everything on our relationship. That made me dive into the information she was telling me versus what I was seeing. And I realized that she also had these narcissistic tendencies. And I also did everything for her, how to help her, how to make her more comfortable. So I lived my life making my mom and my ex comfortable and taking on all their problems. Oh my gosh, you know, your past traumas are too much for you to feel. So come on, guys, we all got to be nice. And I taught my kids how to walk on eggshells and be nice. So now I'm dealing with the guilt of teaching the kids. And I'm sitting with all this yuck on my plate as I'm sitting there feeling sometimes overwhelmed with wanting to not deal with this yuck on my plate. And I slowly started to weave through the yuck. I started to learn about my past. I started to learn about myself. And I started to learn about who I was as a person, and I started to learn more about this ability I had of talking to spirits, and using my intuition. And my intuition was blocked because, you know, when someone's cheating and lying, it's not good to have an intuition because you know something isn't right. And so I'm embracing that again, and I'm learning that more. And it used to be used against me. Like if everybody liked what my spirits and my spirit guides and my loved ones said, then it was good. If no one liked it, then it was bad. And it was also like, we don't talk about it, people are going to judge us. And so I have all this fear of judgment, which has stopped me at times from moving forward. And as I'm on my healing journey, I'm like, no, I'm going to be me. I got to be authentically me. And I can't hold back on what people can think, because here's a great thing, right? If people don't like it, they've probably already scrolled and they're not still watching this. So if you're still watching this, there's something about it that you're like, okay, like she's been through a lot. I can relate. Like my world is closing in, the walls are closing tight, and I'm suffocating, and I can't do this anymore. And some days I'm really great, and some days I'm not. And what do I need to do? So I want to be able to be that healing guide. I want to be able to share those messages, share the messages of the information that I learned from my training and experience that I went through. In my employment life, or, you know, my career life, my experience from what I experienced in my day-to-day personal life of gaslighting, manipulation, betrayal, trauma, how my brain was just completely flipped, and being able to connect with the spirits and loved ones on the other side. And I want to be able to use all three of those in order to help people. So that's what I've kind of started. And I was doing it a little bit with working. And then in November of 2023, I went to the doctors after I had been sick. And then I woke up one day and I had a spot in my eye. So I went to the emergency room. And when I went to the emergency room, I had a spot on my brain, so they thought I might have had a stroke, a silent stroke at some point in time. They ruled out that I was currently having a stroke, so I possibly had a silent one. I've learned that sometimes with trauma that happens too. So I don't know if it's a stroke, I don't know if it's trauma, I don't know what it is, but I know I have a spot on my brain that I'm working through. And I had the dot in my eye, and I've been informed from going to the doctors. They were separate. I actually had a retina detachment, so I had surgery. It redetached, so I had surgery in November, had surgery again in December, then I had surgery again in February. So I was trying on disability, trying to get this off a little bit, dealing with healing my eye. So the physical healing, the emotional healing, trying to do it all. Still not feeling 100% comfortable with myself, but everything kind of bridged together these last couple months. And I was supposed to go back to work, and I just couldn't. I can't do the same thing. I can't drive like I could, because I still can't see very well. So I've realized that this is more of my calling. This is more of my calling to help people. I've always helped them in my professional career, but now it's to take my spiritual, the things I've learned about my spirituality in the mix with it. And it's about taking the experiences, the knowledge and education, and my intuitive gifts, and putting it together to help you on your healing guide. And I do that by going live and sharing like what our loved ones and what the spirits on the other side have to say, and also through private coaching or private sessions. So if you're interested, message me. If you're interested in hearing more when I go live and everything, then follow me. And it's on this app, and also this will be posted to YouTube as well. So follow me on both. and let's build this and